You ever have one of those nights where everything feels quiet, too quiet, like the world's holding its breath, waiting for something to happen? That's how it was for Marla Jenkins, a 55-year-old cleaning lady working the graveyard shift on the 28th floor of Pinnacle Tech's sleek headquarters in downtown Chicago. Marla, she's the kind of person you'd walk past 100 times without noticing. Uniform starched, hair pulled back tight, pushing a cart full of bleach and rags, keeping the place spotless while the city sleeps. But that night, oh man, that night her whole life turned upside down, all because of a phone that wouldn't stop ringing. Let me take you back to Marla, to who she was before that call changed everything. Born and raised in Gary, Indiana, Marla grew up in a neighborhood where every penny was stretched thin, like butter scraped over too much bread. Her dad worked the steel mills until his knees gave out. Her mom cleaned houses, always coming home with stories about other people's lives. Marla learned early on that dreams were nice, but survival was the real game. No college, no fancy plans, just work. Waitressing, stocking shelves, cleaning offices, whatever paid the bills. By her 20s, she was raising 2 kids on her own, their dad long gone, leaving nothing but excuses and a stack of unpaid bills. Marla didn't complain, though. She just gripped those struggles like a heavy grocery bag. No whining, no asking for help. She'd take the long bus rides home from work, staring out at the streetlights, thinking about her kids, her grandkids now, and how she'd do anything to keep them fed, clothed, maybe even a little proud of her someday. For 6 years, Marla's been cleaning Pinnacle Tech's offices, mopping floors, wiping down desks where people made more in a day than she did in a month. She was invisible, just part of the background, like the hum of the air conditioning or the glow of the city skyline through those big glass windows. She'd see the suits rush by during the day, executives, assistants, all caught up in their world of deals and deadlines. At night, it was just her, the silence, and the occasional creak of her cart's wheels. She didn't mind the quiet. It gave her space to think, to notice things. Like how the junior staff froze when the CEO, Victor Grayson, strode past, his voice sharp, his suit sharper. Or how the execs would whisper about contracts, investors, big moves in places like Tokyo or London. Marla didn't know the details, but she listened. And after years of listening, she'd picked up more than most people realized. That night, though, something felt off. The office was too still, the kind of still that makes your skin prickle. Marla was in Victor's office, dusting his desk, mahogany, polished to a shine, papers scattered like someone had left in a hurry. She caught a glimpse of highlighted lines on a contract, words like non-compete and territorial rights, but she didn't linger. Not her place, not her business. She was just tying up a trash bag when the phone started ringing. Not a soft chime, but a loud, insistent blare that cut through the silence like a knife. She froze, rag in hand, staring at the glowing screen on Victor's desk. A number with a weird country code, Germany, maybe? It rang again, and again, relentless. Marla's first thought was to ignore it. "Ain't my job," she muttered, shaking her head. She'd seen people get fired for less than touching the CEO's stuff. But the ringing kept going, like it was daring her, like it knew she was the only one there. She pushed her cart closer, the wheels squeaking, her heart thumping. "Don't be dumb, Marla," she told herself. But her hand was already reaching for the receiver, like her gut was making the call before her brain caught up. She picked it up, voice low, hesitant. "Hello." A sharp breath on the other end, then a man's voice, thick with an accent, clipped with panic. Finally. "Is this Pinnacle Tech? This is Lucas Schmidt from Berlin. I've been calling for hours. Where's Victor Grayson?" Marla's stomach dropped. She almost hung up right there, but the guy's tone, desperate, afraid, stopped her. Mr. Grayson ain't here," she said, swallowing hard. "This is the night staff." Lucas groaned, loud enough to make her wince. "Night staff? Listen, we've got a problem, a big one. The contract they sent you's it's wrong. They slipped in a non-compete clause that kills our whole operation. If this isn't fixed by morning, I'm out. This deal's worth billions, you hear me? Billions." Marla's head spun. Billions? Contracts? She was just the cleaning lady, not some hotshot lawyer. But Lucas wasn't slowing down, his voice rising, words tumbling over each other. "Do you understand? If this clause stays, we walk. My board's ready to pull the plug. Who even are you?" Marla gripped the phone tighter, her knuckles pale. "I'm Marla, sir. To clean the offices. I ain't supposed to be on this call, but you kept ringing, and I couldn't just let it go. There was a pause. Then Lucas snapped. You clean offices? And you're the one answering? Unbelievable. His words stung, but Marla didn't flinch. She'd heard worse. She glanced at the papers on Victor's desk, those highlighted lines flashing in her mind. She remembered overhearing two execs last week, arguing in the break room about pushing the non-compete to lock in some client. At the time, it was just noise. Now it clicked. Mr. Schmidt, she said, her voice steadier than she felt. I don't know all the details, but I've heard enough around here to know that clause might have been a mistake or maybe someone got greedy. Either way, I can make sure Mr. Grayson hears you first thing tomorrow. Don't pull out yet, okay? Give him a chance to fix it. Silence on the line, just heavy breathing. Then Lucas, quieter now. You're telling me to trust a cleaning lady with a billion-dollar deal? Marla's jaw tightened. I'm telling you I'm the only one picking up this phone right now. You want this fixed, you wait till morning. I'll make sure he knows. Another pause, then a grudging sigh. Fine. Sunrise. No later. Tell Grayson the non-compete's a deal breaker. My board won't budge. Marla nodded, even though he couldn't see her. I'll tell him. I promise. The line went dead. She set the phone down, her hands shaking, the office suddenly feeling too big, too quiet. She sank into Victor's chair leather, soft, the kind of thing she'd never dared touch before. For a second, she let herself feel it, the weight of what she'd just done. She wasn't supposed to be here, wasn't supposed to talk to clients, wasn't supposed to know anything. But she'd just held a billion-dollar deal together, at least for a few hours. Pride flickered in her chest, fragile but real. Then the phone rang again. Same number. Her heart jumped into her throat. Hello, she said, bracing herself. Marla, was it? Lucas's voice was sharp now, controlled but edged with suspicion. You said you'd pass the message, but I need to know, did they do this on purpose? Are they trying to screw us? Marla bit her lip, her eyes flicking to the papers again. She didn't have proof, but she'd heard enough office gossip to know how these things worked. Mr. Schmidt, I can't say for sure, but I've heard folks around here talk about tightening deals, pushing clauses to get an edge. Maybe someone thought you wouldn't notice. But Mr. Grayson don't like losing big clients. He'll want to make this right. Lucas let out a low growl. They think we're idiots, huh? That we don't read the fine print. Marla leaned against the desk, her voice calm but firm. I don't think they're laughing now. You've got their attention. Just hold on till morning, and I'll make sure this gets to the top. Another long pause. Then Lucas, almost reluctant. You talk sense, Marla. More than most people I deal with. All right, I'll wait, but no games. Sunrise. The call ended, and Marla felt like she'd just run a marathon. She wasn't just cleaning anymore. She was in the middle of something huge, and come morning, she'd have to face the consequences. By the time the sun started creeping through the blinds, Marla was still there, pacing near Victor's office. Normally, she'd be halfway home on the bus, but she couldn't leave not after that call. At 7 a.m., the elevator dinged, and out stepped Victor Grayson, tall, mid-50s, gray streaking his hair, suit crisp as ever. His assistant, Emily, trailed behind, clutching a tablet. Victor's eyes locked on the phone, off the hook, and his face hardened. Who's this? He snapped, spotting Marla. She swallowed, stepping forward, her voice shaky but clear. I'm Marla, sir. Night cleaning staff. Last night, your phone kept ringing a client, Lucas Schmidt from Berlin. He was about to walk away from a deal because of some non-compete clause. I answered it. Told him you'd fix it this morning. Victor's eyes narrowed, his voice cold. You answer my phone? Emily, flipping through her tablet, cut in. Wait, sir, she's right. That clause wasn't in the draft I sent legal. Someone added it last minute. Victor's jaw clenched, his gaze flicking back to Marla. What exactly did you say to him? Marla's knees wobbled, but she held her ground. I told him not to pull out yet, that you'd want to make it right. I promised he'd hear from you today. The room went quiet, the kind of quiet that makes your ears ring. Then Emily's phone buzzed, and she patched Lucas through on speaker. His voice exploded into the room. Grayson, you finally show up? Do you know the mess I've been dealing with all night? Victor raised a hand, his tone calm but firm. Lucas, I just heard. That clause was a mistake, and it's gone as of now. The deal stands as we agreed. You have my word. Lucas exhaled, calmer but still sharp. Who told you? How'd you know? Victor glanced at Marla, his expression softening just a fraction. Someone who's been paying more attention than I have. Lucas grunted. Good. But no more surprises, Victor. I'm watching. The call ended, and Emily rushed out to handle legal, leaving Marla alone with Victor. He turned to her, his voice low, almost gentle. Marla, you realize you saved us from a disaster, don't you? She blinked, her throat tight. I just didn't want him to feel ignored, sir. Victor paced, shaking his head. Ignored. That's the thing, isn't it? I've walked past you for years, never even asked your name. And yet, you kept a client worth billions on the line when no one else could. Marla's eyes stung, but she didn't look away. Victor stopped, his gaze steady. I want you to meet with my team this week. Tell them what you see, what you hear. You've got instincts most of them don't. Marla's mouth went dry. Me? With your team? He nodded, a faint smile breaking through. Yes, you. You've earned it. For the first time in years, Marla felt seen not as the cleaning lady, but as Marla Jenkins, the woman who'd stepped up when it mattered. In the weeks that followed, whispers spread through Pinnacle Tech about the night a cleaner saved a billion-dollar deal. People who'd never glanced her way started saying her name, asking her thoughts, listening when she spoke. Victor made a point to nod at her in the halls, a small gesture that meant everything. One evening, as she stood by the windows, watching the Chicago River shimmer under the city lights, Marla thought about that phone call, how easy it would have been to walk away, to say, not my job. But she hadn't. And because of that, everything changed. Here's the thing, though, not everyone was happy about it. A few execs, the ones who'd slipped that clause in, didn't take kindly to being called out. One of them, a slick VP named Greg, cornered Marla in the break room a week later, his voice low, dripping with venom. You think you're a hero now, huh? Sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Marla didn't flinch, just met his gaze. I didn't do it for a medal, Greg. I did it because it was right. He scoffed, but she saw the flicker of shame in his eyes before he walked away. That moment, that tension, it's still out there, simmering. Who gets to decide what's right? The suits at the top, or the people who see everything from the ground up? So what do you think? Was Marla a hero for stepping in, or did she overstep her place? Should she have stayed invisible, or was it her right to act? Drop a comment. Share your take, because stories like this, they don't just end. They make us question who we notice, who we ignore, and what happens when the quiet ones finally speak up.